Watching News at Prime, we begin here. The ANC is confirming that former President Jacob Zuma's MK party is not open to coalition talks. The Liberation Movement, which slumped to just over 40% in the national vote last week, also revealing that it's speaking to other political parties to form a government of national unity. Newzroom Afrika's Juniour Khumalo attended that media conference. He joins us in studio tonight. Juniour, good evening to you. So, what is the ANC saying about what other options are available to them? Who are they speaking to, in essence?
Basically, they're speaking to everyone. This is the comment that we got from Mahlengi Mutsiri, the ANC's national spokesperson. So the ANC is avoiding choosing one party over another. Basically, there's been a lot of complaints from some sectors about the ANC going into coalition with the DA. They're saying that this serves basically the white minority. And then there are some that are also complaining about the ANC going into coalition with either the MK party or the EFF, saying this will basically affect negatively the markets because radical transformation policies will be adopted. So the ANC, to avoid choosing one partner or the other, they're saying that it's best that they go into a government of national unity. So the party is saying that this is the choice that South Africans have made. There's no clear majority, so South Africans want all the parties to be on the table. They've so far spoken to the EFF, they've spoken to the DA, the IFP, the NFP, and the Patriotic Alliance. And according to the national spokesperson, these initial talks were actually very conversational. There hasn't been anything that is formal that has been reached. But let's take a listen to what she had to say about the MK party that is led by the former President Jacob Zuma.
The national officials reported to the National Working Committee that the ANC has repeatedly reached out to the MK party for an engagement meeting with no positive response. Our door remains open as we continue to reach out to every party that is keen to contribute positively to moving our country forward.
The ANC will continue to reach out, I would assume, to the MK party, even though the MK party seems non-responsive, at least for now. What about the alliance partners? Because at least one is very clear, the SACP this afternoon, that these are quote-unquote counter-revolutionaries. We're not going to go into bed with them.
Indeed, they do not want a coalition with the DA. It seems like that's the sentiment with COSATU as well as the SACP itself. So that's the sentiment that has been raised by the alliance partners. They do not want a coalition with the DA. But the ANC has also indicated that it's going to be awkward to go into a coalition with Umkhonto weSizwe, in particular given that the former president is set to go through disciplinary hearings for aligning himself with a different political organization and encouraging South Africans to vote for that organization. So how then do you go back to South Africans and say, we are now aligning with the same individual that we are supposed to take through disciplinary action? Yeah. So it's a bit tricky for the ANC.
But it's not the only challenge for the ANC, because one of its senior members today appeared in court. He's not only a senior member in the party, he's a cabinet minister.
He's a cabinet minister. He is a member of the NEC. He's also a member of the National Working Committee of the ANC. So he's a very senior member within the ANC. And now he's forced to resign because of the allegations that he is facing. The step-aside policy of the ANC is very clear. When an individual is charged and he appears in court, then he must step aside. So he was really commended by Mahlengi Mutsiri for stepping aside without the party having to intervene and ask him to resign. But that is a serious allegation that he faces, but the ANC also shot itself in the foot by having such individuals in its list. They were asked by the media, why do you have people implicated in the Zondo Commission in your list? Yeah. We still have a Nomvula Munkonyana, we still have a Gwede Mantashe in that list. So those individuals still also might be charged. And what happens then for the ANC?
Malusi Kigaba is also part of that list.
Indeed.
And what was the response from the party?
Let's take a listen to what Mahlengi Mutsiri had to say about Zizi Kodwa when we asked her about this.
On the matter of Zizi Kodwa, all I can say is that we've noted that and the step-aside policy of the ANC will kick in, or shall I say the constitution of the ANC will kick in, because we respect the rule of law, and I suppose there's really no question about that.
So for the benefit of the viewers, Juniour, who may not be aware what the step-aside rule of the ANC says, effectively, where is Zizigodwa today in terms of his leadership responsibilities within the party, within government, and so on?
So within government, according to the ANC step-aside policy, you're supposed to step aside from your government duties. So he still remains a member of the ANC, but he can't take up any leadership position because he steps aside willingly. But if he had not stepped aside willingly, then he would have been suspended from his government duties as well as from the party. So for now, he is still within the party. But that was the question that was also raised to Mahlengi Mutsiri. What happens then to him being on the national list? Because he's number 18 on that national list. So does that also affect him? She said that the electoral committee of the ANC, chaired by Kgalema Motlanthe, is going to take a careful look at this, and then it's going to make a determination. But all odds are that he's going to be asked to not be in that list and step aside from that list as well.
Very interesting times indeed, difficult time, in fact.